Have you ever watched someone ruin their life in real time and thought, surely they'll just stop? Surely they'll course correct? No, they do not. Let's break down Clusterfck by Brian O'Sullivan, a novel that said, what if accountability simply didn't exist? This isn't a story about accidents. This is about ego with Wi-Fi, pulse with a credit card, desire with absolutely no adult supervision. Every character in this book wakes up each morning and chooses chaos, like it's a personality trait. And the wildest part, they all think they're the reasonable ones. One bad decision becomes a lie. One lie becomes leverage. The leverage becomes destruction. And suddenly, we're not reading a thriller. We're watching a controlled demolition of multiple lives. There are no heroes here. Only people confidently walking into traffic while insisting they are looking both ways. If you like your fiction messy, if you enjoy morally bankrupt behavior served hot, and if you've ever yelled, why would you do that? At a page, you're home. Lock the doors, hide your phone, and maybe text no one tonight. Let's slay this disaster. Welcome back, Book Slayers, to Book Slayers with Betty and Bonny.
Yay!
My God.
Welcome back. Oh, it's so nice to see you. It's been like 2 weeks. I've had withdrawals
Yes.
from you.
Oh, it feels like
too long.
forever.
How are
It was
you?
way too long. I am good. It's been a clusterfuck of a week. The time I take in the mornings to do all my bookish business went to Thomas having swimming lessons because he has autism. I had to be with him at the pool. I literally had about 10 minutes before he came home every day, and now I'm so behind. No funny. But I did finish the book.
Yay.
What about you? How was your vacay?
Yeah, good. Oh, yeah, the weekend away was good. Yeah, drinks and dancing, and yeah, that was really good. Today was a good day. My work booked out Canterbury Boom Battle Bar, and we did axe throwing. We had like augmented darts where you have all different games and play darts. It was really cool. There was a karaoke room. I did not sing. I'm not a singer. I wouldn't do that to anybody. I was singing so much in the car on the way over, I almost lost my voice. I was like, you need to calm down. So yeah, my singing voice is just for me. But yeah, it's been a really good day. And I've been so excited to catch up with you.
I'm excited to talk about this bloody book because we have had this on the back burner for how long now?
I know, it feels like months, but in reality, it's probably just over a month or something. But we decided a while ago that we were going to do this. It's been so much on social media. It's like, I feel like it's sort of a trending book. It was like, we need to jump on this to see what's going on.
Well, it didn't hurt that Brian was like, hey, can you do mine?
Yeah, he did ask.
He did ask, and
we shall receive.
Yes, we shall. I've seen a lot of clicks online about the people that love this book, but let's dive into what we thought about this little bad boy.
Let's go.
Awesome. So, I don't know if any of you guys have actually read this book yet. It's not been out for very long. I think he published it, about a month ago? And it's literally about these 4 people, and 2 of them get together to, do the dirty. But they were using each other to get what they wanted. And then one little problem turns into 2 little problems, turns 3 little problems, snowballed into who is actually going to be alive at the end of the book.
Yeah.
It was absolutely insane.
A lot happened in this book.
Yeah, way too much. And the worst part is that you get the points of view of all 4 of the main characters. You get David, the uber boring husband of April, who is a lunatic. And then you get, and then Lucy is married to Eddie, and you really don't know who you can trust. And I love books with, unreliable narrators, but there was nobody to cling on to in this book. Like, I didn't know who to really trust. And I was literally rooting for April.
Why do we do that? Why do we want the baddies? The thing is, though, I think, so it starts off where Eddie approaches April in a coffee shop. We don't know the circumstances. He's just there, and he's kind of cracking onto her a bit, even though she's clearly got a ring on it. And she's like, no, thank you. And he's like, I'll be back. I'll be back on Tuesday. If you're here, I know you want to speak to me. How fucking arrogant. Why did I love that and hate that at the same time?
He had information that nobody else had. He'd overheard her talking.
Yeah, but we
So
didn't
he
know
knew.
that at the beginning. We find
Well,
out.
obviously, we don't know that, but at the same time, she could have not been there.
Well, yeah, exactly. But well, I think that was her shift anyway, but she chose to still be there.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
clearly, she wanted it. She
Yeah,
wanted it.
but I think what I was gonna say is, like, he's, like, the clear baddie, like, bad boy, like, gets his own way because he's, like, a bit good looking, can talk anyone round. Like, you hear, like, when he was younger, he wasn't very good at school and stuff, so he would go to bars and they would get him to get the girls in to sort of work for free, but work for their drinks, and he'd get a cut of stuff. So he could, like, talk people into doing shit that would, like, benefit him. So he's a real, like, give me the gab kind of guy, isn't he? But
Yeah.
and then you hear a lot more of his backstory where he's come from, like, trailer trash, basically, isn't he? And he's got a
Mhm.
right being his bonnet about it, like, big rejection, can't handle it kind of guy, and just wants what he never had, which he just
Yep.
wants money, basically.
Yeah.
And enter April. Mhm.
Yep. It's an interesting dynamic. Like, I really love psychological thrillers that kind of have all these avenues, and all the mind fucking that this book did was insane because it wasn't even just that it was psychologically terrorizing. There was this mystery too of who knew what, who was going to figure this out, where was this going, were the police going to
Mhm.
figure out what was going on? And I was like, how I knew about the sex part, okay? Like when he was like, I know I can pull her in based on what she said, but how on earth did he even have the audacity to say, hey, you kill yours, you kill mine, I kill yours. Let's do this. Like, how do you go from cheating on your wife or your husband to let's commit murder?
In, like, they only met up, like, 3 times or maybe twice. I can't remember.
No, yeah, it was 3 times. Yeah, 3
The first
weeks.
time I think he was just very clear, like, "Your husband's rich. My girlfriend's parents or my other half's parents are rich. We could get some money, like, I've got plans." And she's like, "Okay." So you're like,
Well, no,
"Why?"
she said no at first until David found out that she was having an affair. And then she was like, okay, I'm on board now. But Eddie also, he set that up. He told David. He left a note on the
Yeah,
car.
he wrote the notes to say that she was having an affair. But I think she was on board with, like, trying to rinse the money and was like, "Oh, I'm intrigued," because she was bored with David. It was just about the money a bit for her, I think, as well.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until he found out about the affair that she was like, "Cool, okay, let's go down the killing route then." And it was just that easy. Snap,
Yeah.
do
But
this.
the more we see of her as the book progresses, you see that she really was like this anyway. You know
Yeah,
what I
this
mean? Like she quite quickly is just like, whatever, well, I guess this is happening now. Like she kind of seemed slightly psychopathic.
Yeah, so this is something that I wrote down of my thoughts afterwards when I was sort of going over it. I was like, we see David's background story. We see a little bit of Lucy's, which is a bit like goody goody. Her parents are rich. They pay for her boarding school and she's like not happy about the money. So she wants her parents to donate to a hospital every month as well, whatever it is for like to match her tuition and stuff. Cause she kind of has a thing about the money. I can't remember what I was going with this. Sorry. I'm going to have one of these days again, aren't I? Where was I going with that? Where was my thought going? Oh, that was it. I can't remember getting a full backstory of April and like why she's so messed up. Or did I miss that? Or was that
No, I don't.
ambiguous reason? You didn't hear her backstory, did you?
No, no.
So with kind of led up to it, you could see that he was already like how he was feeling, that he was this type of sort of person that just wanted to get rich. But you wasn't really sure with her 100%. You knew she was obviously doing the naughty because she was bored of her husband, but you didn't know that she'd be a bit fucked up, you know?
No, I had no clue. No clue. And it's funny because like she's talking about he put money into doing the coffee shop and all that stuff. And you realize that David pretty much forced her into doing it. Like she was like, no, no about this. And he was force. And I'm like, who does that? Who forces someone says something flippant? Let's say I one day want to, I don't know, own a strip joint. But I said it as like a flippant conversation because I was bored of my job. And then my husband's like, you should open a strip joint. Like, you should
Yeah,
do this. You
yeah,
should
he
do this.
really leaned
Like,
into one time you said that, and now you should
yeah.
get this coffee. And she's like, thing is, though, I don't think she wanted to do anything. She wanted to be kind of kept. And then he was annoyed that she didn't have any oomph to want to do anything. They probably just liked that one thing about her, that she actually had some sort of ambition to have her own little business. But yeah,
Yeah,
he
but then
did.
that's a conversation, right? Like, I know that he wanted to have a family and was like, I can see you being home if we had kids. And she's like, oh, I'm not ready for that yet. I don't think she was fully invested in the marriage anyway.
No, 100% not.
Don't. But what did you like? Obviously, we got the book. We had no idea what it was about, but the title was Clusterfuck. Like, what was you expecting from the novel based on the title?
I can't really put my finger on it. Just like, boom, everything's going to keep going off and off. Do you know what I mean? That's what I
Yeah,
was
I was.
expecting. Or just
I
everything keeps going wrong.
Yeah, but I didn't know for who because if you look, he doesn't write anything on the back. There's no synopsis. There's no synopsis in this book. Like you
Not
don't have
even
no
like,
fucking. It gives you nothing.
I haven't even checked. I didn't even read it. I didn't read
Well,
anything.
neither did I. We just kind of went, "Fuck it, we're doing it." And then I started reading it, and I'm like, "What was I expecting from this book?" And I literally had not one fucking clue, other than I knew it was going to be chaos.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, just chaotic.
But I enjoyed the fact that it was really plot driven because if you look at the characters, none of them are like standouts, right? Everyone's kind of a little one dimensional. We don't learn very much. The story moves through the plot. And I don't read a lot of the thrillers that do that. And I was actually like, I blew through it. Like I asked you if you were finished, right? And I had trouble putting it down. I did it in 2 sessions because by the time I got to bed, like I did it in 2 nights, but oh my God, like trying to find a good place to stop to, I'm like, "Oh, the chapters are so short." I love that.
I love that. But then it does, you think, oh, I can just do one more. And then you've stayed up
You've
like
done
4
that
hours
for
before
like
bedtime. And then you're knackered the next day. But I did the same thing. I did it in 2 sessions. I started Monday thinking that gives me 4 days before we catch up. So I've got 4 days. I'm not rushed. I might have had plans one of the days. So I was like, oh, if that happens, I've still got 3 days. And it's not a really long book. I think it's like 300 and something pages. So it wasn't
yeah,
like a 450. It was like 350 or something. And yeah, I did the same. To Monday, Tuesday, done. I had to
yeah.
finish, had to know what was going to happen.
It's so funny because I don't like books with lots of points of views in it. I'm well known for 2 should really be the maximum. But I understand why he went this avenue, why he picked because we had to know the perspectives of each of the key players, and then as they get knocked out, obviously their points of view disappeared. I was like, what a clever way to do this because the only person I really got invested in was April. I'm like, I wonder if she's gonna get away with all this stuff. And then when Lucy was hot on her tail, I'm like, oh, I don't like that. I'm like,
My On my notes, because the way the story wraps up, and everything kind of ties, like for Lucy, in a neat little bow. And my words were happy ever after. The end. Like,
yeah,
it felt like it wrapped up like not a children's story, but you get what I mean. Like, and the right person won. Not that
yeah,
you
but I
wanted.
didn't feel that way. I was like, I kind of wanted to see where April would go next. Like, I was hoping that the ending April would be the one left standing at the end of it, and I wanted to see whether or not it was just this crazy situation that kind of had all this stuff going. Like, if Eddie hadn't have approached her, do you think she would have killed anybody? Like, or do you think that this was just something waiting to happen? And I wanted to know whether or not she got the taste for, doing that. And I was
No, did you not
curious.
see that a little bit with Harry? Because
He was
obviously,
blackmailing her.
and the answer is, I know how to fix this problem.
Do you do? The
You've
police are
done it
already breathing.
before.
I know, but the police are already breathing down your neck. He's going to keep extorting you for 5 grand every week. And he says he's going to tell the police. You can't access that kind of money when the police are looking at you. 'Cause it's going to be like, why are you pulling out 5 grand a week? Like, what the fuck are you up to? It looks fishy. Now, what do? Do you disappear? Well, now you're going to become a suspect. I wouldn't have gone to murder myself because I would have been like, well, go tell the police. What is it? Circumstantial? You can't prove I was there. You got no cameras, motherfucker.
There's no evidence, but this is what I mean. I think it was in her, like, I've done one. That was all right. It's like it
Can
didn't phase
do
her
that.
at all that she had to do it. But did you not sort of, when they sort of concocted this kill for me, kill for you thing, I was like, right, which one's turning on the other one? Because you both ain't getting out of this together. I
Yeah.
knew
And
someone would. I was probably leaning towards Eddie, to be honest.
I thought he was gonna kill her after she'd done the
After she'd
parents.
done her bit, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that she kind of understood that. Like, I don't wanna kill those people, like, they didn't do anything to me, but I'm gonna pin this on your wife. And then with the she was with the boots, I'm like, "That's really smart, but that's really stupid. Because how do you pin it on somebody that doesn't have that foot size?"
But
Like,
do you know what?
you could tell that she was thinking things through, but she obviously was no criminal mastermind, and it
Yeah.
showed.
She over sort of complicated it for herself
Mm.
because she'd really thought about things. I mean, getting the cling film and the fingerprint was like, really? Does that work?
Okay.
Does it work? Like, obviously it does in this book. I mean, maybe it does. I have sort of heard that you can sort of do this. But yeah, so she was really clever with that. But then she'd also worn the big shoes. And it was like, you're trying to set her up, but now you're trying to set up someone that she would have hired to kill him.
Yeah,
Fucked up a bit, but it went okay with her in that respect, I think, up
yeah.
until obviously the end.
Just about the thing about the license plate with the cling film, we have people here that buy shields to go over it so the cameras don't clock them. So yeah, I bet it does work.
No, not covering. She used cling film to lift her fingerprint off the door handle and then wrap it around the gun.
It would work. It would
Yeah.
totally work. But I thought you said that she did the license plate.
Did I? I meant the car door. I was talking about the door.
Okay.
You know what
Well,
I'm
that
not?
would work because people do that here. They buy these special shields to cover their license plates. They can
Yeah.
bleed through those cameras and it can't take a picture. Oh, yeah. I've seen them. You're not supposed to. We don't have one. We are very good citizens, okay? We don't have
And
one
that
of
is
those
what
on
you
offer.
say on camera, yes.
We really don't know. I would get pulled over for that.
One thing I didn't like at the end, and I found this, there was a couple of chapters where I can't remember the middle ones, but something would happen in like one person's point of view. And when it got to the next person's point of view, even though they didn't know each other's thoughts, he would kind of repeat what he's just said for that person.
Yeah.
And my example of this was, this is slightly different, but at the end, when the police are like, Lucy doesn't know how she framed her or how her fingerprints got on the gun. And the police was like, oh, she probably just did this, but relayed it exactly how it was. So, oh, she probably just got your fingerprints off the car, off the passenger car door as well. Didn't like, it was very specific. I think it could have been left that Lucy didn't know. Because we as a reader knew, I don't think he needed to add that in. And there was a couple of bits like that where I was like, stop marrying it up too well. Just let some
Yeah.
things be, and that's okay to be ambiguous for the characters because we know. We know.
I was just going to say, he kind of mansplained it.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yes, that is. You've said it perfectly. Yeah.
Because I kind of felt that way too. Like I was being spoon fed a little bit. Like he was almost writing it for people that maybe didn't get it. Almost, you know.
Yes, exactly. And maybe, do you know what? I mean, I have some Goodreads reviews. I went through afterwards. I was like, I wonder what other people thought. And when I looked it up, I bet I'm not going to be able to find it now. The first review I see is from Brian.
He reviewed his own book. Love it.
He 5-starred his own book and was like, this is my best book. And I was like, I fucking rate that. I love that, Brian. Well done. That was the first.
What? He's doing amazing. I'm watching like him hit his markers, right? Like his last book was the better one that he'd done up until this book, and this one has blown. But he spent a lot of time marketing.
Yes,
and
but
it shows.
It really shows because you don't just, I see that almost every day, and not just from him. He's obviously got it out enough that everybody else has joined on this bandwagon and is recommending this book and saying how much they love the book. He's done fantastic. I think we've said this before, but he has done a really good job. But
He's completely nailed it.
I loved that he rated his own book. I'm not going to find the specific one, but it was something similar along repeating stuff as if he's trying to fill the book a little bit, or like you said, maybe mansplain. And that's probably my only criticism. Other than that, I quite liked, even though you kind of know what I sort of knew what avenue we're going down. Like you say, you still don't know who's getting out alive at the end.
No. And I think that's where he was funneling it too, because that's how it felt too. It's like, I'm gonna pick somebody up. Who's it gonna be? And it's like, ooh, spin the wheel. And it's like, you live, you die. And then you move, and then it all funnels into just 3 points of view, and then you get 2 points of view. And I thought it was a really clever way of writing. Kind of what I did notice is that I like my psychological thrillers to be a little bit, I'm not going to say his writing's juvenile because I don't mean it like that, but I could tell that his writing wasn't quite as well edited as somebody like Lisa Jewell. You can tell, you can see that, and that's not, as an indie author, you have to understand that that's going to happen, and I think he did a really good job. But
Mm.
the way I like psychological thrillers, I need them to be a little bit more polished. So his felt a little bit more rough around the edges, but again, I really enjoyed it. I thought he did a really fabulous job. I don't know if you noticed, but he mentioned a part in the book, and I laughed so fucking hard, where he was like, "A breath I didn't know I was holding." And they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And he was like, "Oh, it's mentioned in one of my Facebook groups online, my thriller group." And I'm dying because yes,
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 yes, I see it all the time.
all
And
the time.
I felt like he was giving like a little knock to the group, and I loved it.
I've actually seen someone post about this, but I clocked it and was laughing. It's a psychological thrillers book club, and someone posted about it and was like, "Thank you for the nod to the group because we really appreciate it." And I thought it was really clever. If you're a
Oh,
book
it's fucking
person, you're
nice.
in them groups, you would have loved that. It was
Yeah,
great.
I thought it was so clever. He has the marketing acumen to really push himself forward, and if he can find a really good editor, I think that he would blow himself away with just how amazing his books could be. I 4-starred it, like, I gave it a 4 stabby rating, and it was the mansplaining part, like, annoyed me a little bit because I already live with a mansplainer, I don't need it in my books.
Yeah. I think I might have 3.5'd it just
Yeah?
for the mansplaining and just because, like I said, some things were just too neatly put together. But like you say, I think it's just where he's over explaining the point. If he'd
Yeah.
left it a little bit more, let the reader just understand that it's okay. So I
Yeah.
put it down for that. And just because I sort of started to see where it was going.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I still really enjoyed it. And I did, like, it's a binge book. You want to
Oh, yeah.
binge it, you will do it really
Oh,
fast. And it's
yeah, I
not too.
couldn't help it. Couldn't
Yeah.
help it. Like, even some of, like, the little quirky bantery bits, some made me laugh and other ones I kinda cringed a little bit. I'm like, "I can't believe you just made your character say that." But at the same time, I'm like, that could be a realistic conversation between people he knows, right? Just because I've never heard someone talk like that.
Yeah.
I probably would have given it a little bit more if April had won. I'm so horrible. If April had been the victor at the end, I would have 4.5 stabbied it because I really wanted that. And I kind of figured that you know, the good guy was going to win at the end, but I didn't want that. And that's really weird for me because I'm normally a yes, good, triumph. But I'm like, I kind of want April to win. And I was like, and she's not going to win. And that really made me, I was bummed. I was really bummed. Something else, did you notice that the book Eddie uses to snag Lucy in the first place?
Oh, yeah.
The Shadow of the Wind, that's a real book. Did you know that?
No.
And it's on my TBR. Like, I
Shut up.
have it. I was like, "Why does that book keep ringing a fucking bell?" And I'm like, and I went and checked my Goodreads, and it says, "Want to read?" And I'm like, "Hang on, I own that." Sure shit, I found it over there. I'm like, "I think I'm gonna read that
Right.
next." I think I'm
Oh,
gonna
he
read
was a
that
right
next.
bastard with that, wasn't he? Imagine getting tricked that badly
You know what?
and not
To the
speaking
fact
about
that
it
she
after.
did. No, but that's how one comment about a book saying that it's his favorite, like, that's pretty low down on the things that he did wrong. Like, she got caught at the and I think she's more upset with herself because she didn't think to ask more questions. You know what I mean? Like, I think he would have charmed her anyway. I think that she's just mad that she knows the book backwards and forwards and didn't think to ask a question.
That's what I mean, because she really likes the book. I'm surprised that they never spoke to him about it after that day, but
But that's my point. So why is she, "Oh, he lied about the book. That's it. It's over. My daddy doesn't like you." That's why I didn't like Lucy. I'm like, "You're not taking any responsibility for the fact that you didn't ask him any questions about this book. You obviously never brought it up again. You were happy until your dad made a couple little comments. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, my marriage is over." Like, fuck you. I wanted you to die. Fuck off.
at one point when April turns on Eddie, I was like, I wonder if this is going to do like a double bluff and Lucy and April are already in touch.
That would have been cool. That would have got you 5 stars, Brian.
Yeah. But then then April kills Lucy.
Yeah, I don't know, Lucy really irritated me, she really did. Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't like April either, I think that come on, you wanna cheat on your husband, then you want him dead? Like, that's pretty low, buddy. But Lucy's like, "Oh, my daddy doesn't like my husband. I'm gonna divorce him. He doesn't really know my favorite book." I don't know. At least April seemed like she was genuine. She was an asshole and
Yeah.
she owned that.
Lucy's just a goody goody, wasn't she?
But she's pathetic. Like, admit that you got conned and that's your fault and accept the responsibility for that. Not, "Oh,
Mm.
well, he lied to me. He's a horrible person." Fuck off. People lie every day. I told somebody they looked nice yesterday. I don't fucking mean it. Get
Anyone who's
over it.
listening is gonna be like, "Did I speak to her yesterday? When did she film this?"
Yeah, hang on. I won't tell you what I was up to then. I doubt she's gonna watch. She doesn't look like a book person. You never know, man. Maybe this needs to go behind a paywall.
What did you think about how the murder went down? It's quite brazen, wasn't it? Like the Fat Davids. Quite brazen, quite out in the open, the shooting.
I
Thought that was
understand.
brave.
I understand why Eddie did it though. Think about the logic here, okay? If he had had any phone calls, text messages, weird emails, anything like that, the police would have had something to go on. Drive-by shooting? How many of those happen in LA on a daily fucking basis? Could have
Yeah.
been gang related, gang initiation. That you literally have a pool of suspects so wide that there's no net to cast because you don't know where to fucking throw it. Like, I bet you any money they probably deal with several of these in a week in all the areas because gangs are rampant down there. So that made sense to me. Do you know what didn't make sense to me?
Go on.
April leaving Eddie out in the open to be found. Why wouldn't you just kill him, bury him, and make it look like he left it, Lucy? So I don't think she would have looked for him.
Yeah.
Because then there would have been nothing. There would have been nothing tying them together. It wouldn't have been on the news that he was fucking missing because people disappear all the fucking time. That Harry person wouldn't have come looking for his payday because he wouldn't have put two and two together. He's an idiot.
Yeah. That's true.
It just didn't make a lot of sense to me. I would have dug a fucking hole.
I don't know. I suppose though she was like didn't want her DNA near him. I don't know how big she was compared to him. It might have been, like almost impossible, like an actual dead weight. Like he was probably quite a big guy, I imagine.
Kitty managed it, throwing around big bags of coffee
What
beans. I'm sure she could
you?
manage.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
I don't know. I think that if she was planning on doing this, why wouldn't you have had things set up ahead of time too?
But
Like,
we
I
already
don't know.
know
There
that
was.
she wasn't
I'm
good
not.
at the planning because she was trying to set up two different people at the same fucking time. I mean, don't forget
Yeah.
she did have to do this quite quickly as well.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of time to actually plan.
Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I don't know. I'm like, if she obviously knew she was going to do this. I think that she could have done a little bit better than what she did. I really do. She knew she was going to take the gun off him. She knew she was going to ask questions. Like, I don't know. I think that leaving the body out there was a huge mistake. I would have
What else
hidden it.
was a huge mistake though was ringing the hotel from her fucking calf.
Oh my fucking God, what an idiot. Even I
How
know you don't do that.
dumb.
I'm no mastermind either, but I know you don't call from your place of work when you
Yeah.
own it. There's no payphones anymore, though. Where would you
What's
call?
that thing though? What is it here? I can't remember. Obviously, on your phone, you could just hide your caller ID, and it
Yeah.
would. Okay, so one, she
Yeah.
could have done that. I
Yeah.
think from here, if you did a landline, do you remember you used to do like 144 or 141 or something, and it would hide your number?
Wasn't it Star 98 or something? I don't know. It was something like that.
American.
I don't know.
It was just
I
number.
remember we used to have those cards. I don't know if your mum gave you one, but I used to have like a payphone card with
Yeah.
a pin number on it, and you go do the number thing in, and then you put the phone number in there, and then your pin. You get free phone calls.
I still know mine off by heart because I had
you
to learn it
really?
off by heart. I used to go to the club and I'd forget my keys or something, and there used to be a phone box along the road on the corner near the railway club. So I'd ring from there and be like, do the number and be like, can you open the door? And they'd be like, fucking hell. I
You're
still
terrible.
know it now. I'll tell you off camera.
Okay, yeah, do that. It was so funny. The things that you remember when I start talking, so yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. That is
So
funny.
you obviously weren't that surprised with what twists were happening in this book. Are there any twists in the book that did surprise you?
No, I don't think it was a surprise, but I knew Eddie or April wasn't going to get through it. I just probably was leaning more to Eddie, which was, I should probably have thought that and gone, well, it's probably the other way around. Yeah, no, I don't think other than that. Was anything else surprising to you?
You know what? The only part that really surprised me was that April even went along with this in the fucking first place. Like, it didn't make much sense to include somebody else doing it because she could have just gone and done a drive-by. Now, she already made it really mucky.
But she didn't have the gun. He had the 2 guns.
Yeah, but
I'm
you could
sure she
still,
could
if
have
you wanna,
pulled one from somewhere.
but she could have done it anyway. She could have made it look like a suicide. Like, there would have been many, many ways
Poison.
to, yeah, poison. Did I tell you about that with Mike when he sent me into the fucking library?
No.
Hey, sidebar, but it'll make sense in a second. My husband, Mike, wanted me to go pick up his library books from the library. So he gave me his library card. I go in there, they're waiting there, right? I scan his card, I put the book on the thing, and then the librarians are staring at me. It's a fucking book on deadly poisons, okay? Plant poisons. And they're like, that's obviously not her card. And she's picking up this book, and you should have seen the fucking looks on their faces.
I wonder
They're
if
like,
they were thriller books. They're like,
they were like, because obviously I'm not Michael or Sue, right? I'm me. They can see I'm not Michael or Sue. And they were all smiles when I went in. But when I scanned that book, they were like, I'm like, what did he get? And I'm like, oh my God.
did he do it as well?
I was fucking dying. I'm like, those librarians were looking at me like I was like, oh, you took your husband's library card, borrowed a book on his library card. What if you're suddenly on the news that your husband's dead from poisoning? Doesn't that look fishy? I'm like, thanks for setting me up in my own psychological thriller.
They was memorizing your face. They was getting a little picture perfect moment to be like, I can describe her. When this happens, I know who'd done it. It's you.
I wonder what they were talking about after I left because they were like, oh, and I did, and they were like, afterwards, I'm like, what?
That's really
Yeah,
funny.
you could have done that. You could have borrowed his library card, gone to the library, got a book on poisons, and it would have looked like he did it to himself because he's a moron. Fun times. Who was your favorite character out of the 4?
Well, definitely not David. Definitely not Lucy. So it's got to be between April and Eddie.
Really? You liked Eddie? I hated Lucy. Lucy's bottom. I wish she'd die first.
Yeah, but at least Eddie, like, I do like having a bit of a baddie in the story. So at least he was interesting because he was bad. And you learned the backstory, which is quite not generic. What's the word when it's like, "Oh, of course you're like that because of your
Yeah.
upbringing." Like, it just fits together nicely. So yeah, but then I think on the other hand, it probably is April because she was probably the least stupid. Like, why did he think he could trust her? He was so arrogant that he was like, I'm going to do this with her, probably get rid of April after the fact. But he was like, I'll do it for her. She'll definitely do it for me because people do anything that I want them to.
Yeah.
And then I liked that he got fucked over because he was
What did
too cocky.
He was way too cocky, but I also think that he was planning to kill her afterwards anyway.
Saying we don't leave witnesses. Sometimes when we talk, I think we scare people because we're very like, if I did that, I'd kill him too.
Makes sense to me.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know.
only logical.
It is so logic. I'm sorry, it's so logical. I think it's because we read too many of these thriller books that we're picking
We
up
do.
things. It's so bad. It's so
Alright.
bad.
I don't read anything else but a thriller in like nearly 2. Well, I think I read one in January, a non-thrillery book. I've been purely thriller based. So yeah.
I've
But
been reading.
so many, you know how to you would know how you could do things in these situations.
It's
Which makes
having the guts. It's
yeah,
having the
that's what I
guts.
don't have. I don't have the guts.
No, I don't think there's anybody on the planet that I'd want dead enough to even attempt that.
No, you just block them. It's easy. But you
Hope a
got
bus hits
these
them.
both were focused about money and stuff, wasn't they? Which is the root of all
Yeah.
evil, as they say.
That really, like, I didn't understand that from April's perspective because I know I get the sex was boring. Like, she was bored of that. But why not have a conversation with your fucking husband and say, look, you're a boring motherfucker in bed. Like, let's spice this shit up, buy some toys. She didn't even want to talk to him about this stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And then it's like, oh, I'm going to cheat now. I want you dead because you want to divorce me because I'm a bore. He was really boring, though. I hated his POV chapters.
Yeah.
I'm so cool. Look at me, 33. I'm going to be a VP. I'm like,
Shut up.
how did you get this woman in the fucking first place?
The way he tricked her, though, you know, when he was trying to. So he'd got the note, and then he was all like, "Oh, I'll take you for dinner," and immediately she was like, "That's not you. You're up to something." Then sat her in the restaurant, so she was back to the car, and he was going to get someone to go in her car, get her phone to see where she's been on these Tuesday mornings, and obviously it come up the hotel. But he thought he was really clever as well. But she was like, I see what you're doing. So, ladies, all you do is get your mirror out and you can see fucking behind you. And she watched it happen.
Yeah, she did. And that was really smart. But you know what I also thought was that she knew what he was up to. She realized her mistake. But rather than going, hey, there's something I need to tell you. I've been meeting somebody at this hotel that's helping me learn how to market my business correctly. Why not get ahead of it? Instead, she just let him say it and then she admits it. And then he's like, I'm going to kill you.
Wow. You're so good at like making up shit. I would have also probably been panicking, like, oh my God, he knows. Mind you,
She had time though, because he didn't ask her right away. He didn't ask her right away. She had time.
Would you?
Because I thought that.
If you've had a note saying he's been cheating on you, would your first thing not to be to go up to him and be like, what the fuck is this motherfucker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he said that she'd been weird for a while. Like he felt that things weren't okay. But that's again, he didn't even bother to communicate with her. And I don't think marriages can work if two people can't fucking get over themselves to say, hey, I'm unhappy because, hey, somebody left this on my fucking windshield. What's going on?
Yeah. But I suppose that gives someone the option to lie, and you just did it very quickly, by the way.
That's only because I sat there as I was reading it, and I'm like, she knows that the one thing that she fucked up on was that she didn't turn her location services off on her phone. That he knows she was at the hotel. Now, what can I think of? Obviously, she was drinking, so she couldn't say she was at an AA meeting, which is where my first thought went. Like, if you're going to AA, you're sober, you're not drinking something, so that wouldn't have worked. So I was going through what she could have potentially have said. Now, he knew that the business wasn't doing so well. Hey, I've been meeting this person. They're giving me advice to try and help bring in more business. Something. Get ahead of it. But she didn't. She was just like, oh, I'll wait for him to say something and then, fuck it, Eddie can kill him.
See, yeah. I see what him go first and then gone.
Yeah, I don't know. She was so dumb. But I really liked it because she felt like she kind of knew what she should have been doing. And then kept making all these mistakes, and it was just getting worse. And that was, I know you understand why it was called Clusterfck, because every single thing she did just made it 10 times worse. No matter what she tried, she made it so much more fucking worse.
Yeah, 100%. Especially like the end of the book where she kidnaps Lucy. The whole car thing, the car on the cliff, like, I was a bit like this. I was like, my God, this could like go really bad, especially when the car started rolling. And I was like, you could sort of see it in like a film. I can see it happening.
Yeah. Like
I was a bit on the edge of my seat or the edge of my bed, probably.
I thought that the ending was actually really well done. I didn't like how it all tied up nice and neat for Lucy, because I think she should have had some problems. Like maybe she couldn't get hired by a law firm because, all this shit happened. Like, how did you not know your husband was a fucking psychopath? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It felt like she got away scot-free. And honestly, yes, Eddie manipulated her into being with him, but she ignored all the red flags. And it's not like he was stealing from her or, like, I don't know. Like, she took no accountability, and I fucking hate women like that.
Yeah, but have we not all been with a guy and seen some red flags, but you kind of ignore it because you kind of love him?
Yeah, and that's fine but she allowed the dad to say, well, there's something wrong here. And she's like, oh no, is there? I'm going to divorce him. Like, I'm sorry. If you love somebody.
She started seeing something, hadn't she? I can't really remember what.
When her dad had made the comment when he was drunk, and then he made another comment sober. That's what I mean. It's like, oh, my daddy says, oh, you saw a change. Something's not right. That's not your opinion, granddad.
Yeah, she's obviously very swayed by her parents, or rates their opinion higher than her own opinion.
Yeah, and I don't like that. That was weird. That was really weird. That really bothered me. I'm like, your whole support team is your parents, and I understand that you want to take what they say, but you didn't even give Eddie a shot to, like, oh, because of the book? Fuck off. Are you telling me that you've never on a first date said something to make yourself seem a little bit more impressive? Isn't that what we all do because we're trying to snag the man?
I haven't. I don't think I've lied.
Well, not lied, but, embellished a little bit.
It's like your best self, though. You're fun. Yeah. You show up in that way, and I'm not always fun. Sometimes I'm rude.
But you don't turn around and go on a first date and say, hey, I'm dressed up right now, but normally I have my hair in a bun and chocolate smeared on my fucking face. You know what I mean? You go out there presenting your best self. And he knew that to talk to her that he had to find something in common.
Find a
And
connection.
that's what people do. So I don't know. That it just seemed flimsy at best.
That bit is so
I just
not.
didn't like her. Caught, she's a knob.
So overall, though, we do recommend this book, right?
Yes. You know what? As far as because he's self-published, right? I don't know if he has. I
I'm
think
sure he's got
self-published.
quite a lot of other books.
This was
Like a
number
lot.
17 according to the
Yeah, I
back
was going to
here.
say 17.
But there's
Yeah.
no publisher on this book, so he's self-published. He self-published this. He had the cover designed by somebody. He's an indie author as far as I'm concerned, and as far as indie authors go, he is top fucking notch.
Yeah.
As far as
Definitely.
thriller authors go, I like him better than Lucy Score.
Who's Lucy Score?
Is it Lucy Score? What's the one you did where you didn't like the book? You'd be like the
Me?
Midnight Feast.
Oh, it's Lucy Foley.
Oh, Foley!
I
Who's
like
Lucy
the
Score
Midnight
then?
Feast. I didn't.
I know, but I like him
You're the
better
one
than I
that don't
like her.
her. I
That's
don't
what I mean.
mind.
I like Brian better.
Yeah. Oh, bold.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. So she's like a traditional published author, and I
Mm.
think Brian's better. So there's my line in the fucking sand right there.
I can't wait to read your review on Goodreads. You haven't done it yet, have you?
I have not done it yet because I have about 50 reviews to write for books that I have been reading, and when I usually do them, I had to be a fucking mother.
Bloody
So I've got
kids,
some catching up to do.
life reading and books.
Well, normally I have my he's in kindergarten. I get that time of quietness if, Mike doesn't want to talk to get my stuff done. And I can get a lot done in that little time. And I didn't realize having 4 days of like him taking that time, how far behind I got. I'm like, fuck, I get a lot done normally. And then I'm like, I've got so much to do. I don't know where to start. And I spiraled. That's how I've been all week. And I don't drink anymore. So I'm like, oh, I can't even just meh. Thinking about eating a fucking gummy or something, and I don't do that either. Fuck. But
So funny.
I do highly recommend this book if you like your books to be chaos from start to finish. Like it was good. I enjoyed it for that. And I think that the pacing was pretty well done too. Like he covered a lot of ground very quickly. And we even got a little bit of backstory, so it's not like you're left completely floundering. I think he did a pretty decent job. I'm glad that he asked us to read it for this, so
Yeah, same. I enjoyed it.
and I like the cover. The dog keeps chewing on it though. I was reading it, she's chewing on it. She took my book light off of it. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So it's a little worse for wear.
Shall we announce what our next deep dive will be? Because I know you're so excited.
Well, you can announce it. You do it.
So we've decided to go back to an oldie and a goodie, or in Stacey's case, a baddie. We are going to go back to Gone Girl and do a proper deep dive and see if it changes Bonny's mind. It's so funny, right? Because I was like, because I remember watching the movie. I don't actually remember the storyline, which is good. I was like, I definitely read the book and I watched the movie. I've been looking for that book all yesterday, cannot find it, but I did find a Gillian Flynn Sharp Objects. And when I pulled the book out, I was like, that's the cover that I'm imagining in my head. So I don't even know if I've actually read it. Don't know if I was a big reader at the time. I can't remember because I was sure I had the fucking book. Can't find it. I'm going to have to order it. It's still £3 on a Kindle, which I know is not expensive in the grand scheme of things, but it's quite an oldie book. And to buy the book on Amazon, I think it's like £7.50. Waterstones, it's still like 11 quid. So it's still obviously doing well. I think.
Most people love this book. I am in the serious minority. I owned 3 copies of this fucking book. 3 copies! And JC, because she thinks it's fucking hilarious, knew that I hated the book, gave me her copy in amongst all the books she was getting rid of, the little hoe. And she was like, did you see what I added in there? I'm like, I fucking hate you. I hate you. She had a good laugh about that for a long time. But like I said, I haven't read this book. I read it when it first came out. So I think like 2013 or 14 and I did not like it. Well, I didn't do the audiobook. So I am going to switch to a new format. I'm going to go in with a clean slate. I'm going to try the movie as well. And we'll just see how this goes.
Yeah, I'm going to do
both.
I'm probably going to read it. It's not on, I only audio when I can get it free somewhere. So I will read it and I will watch the movie and maybe try and get the kids to watch it with me. Is it safe for my kids? I can't remember. I can't remember the
It,
fucking. When I
well, your
start
kids
watching
are
it, they're like,
older.
oh yeah, yeah, they are. They're
Your
17,
kids
so
are older. It should be
yeah, I might get them to
okay.
watch it with me. So I'm quite looking forward to that. I also that Sharp Objects is also on my shelf. I brought it down from upstairs. I'm like, I want to reread that because that was a good one as well. Do you
Which one?
remember Sharp Objects?
You know what? This is why I know I like the author because I read that one and I read the dark one too. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I can't remember the other ones. I've only read them 2. There's like 4 of them that yeah.
I like all the other ones. I liked them all except that one. And I want to know now because obviously it's been a long time. I've had 4 kids since then too. I can't really articulate why I didn't like it other than the fact that I didn't like either of the characters and I hope they both died at the end. So it's going to be interesting to see how I feel this time round.
It seems like a theme. You want everyone to die.
Oh no.
Hope
Oh
Lucy
no.
dies.
I was born in the wrong era. I should have been a queen. That would have been fabulous.
You would have made a great queen.
I would have been a great queen. Look how regal I am. I'm horrible. Apparently, I just want everyone to die. No, I wanted April to win. She was a bad person. But that Gone Girl, no. There's just, I don't know, there was nobody redeemable in
I'm
that
really
book. I'm going to go
excited.
in with a new mindset.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to read it. But you know, like you change over years. I wonder if you feel differently about it reading it at a different time in your life.
I would hope that that's true. But the problem is that I've dug into my hatred now. I don't know if I can go in with an open mind. I'm going to try really hard.
Yeah.
I'm stubborn. Like, I'm sorry, I'm stubborn. I already don't like it. Like,
If you hate
the
it again
silent
and
patient.
rereading it, it will just make it funnier to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, I feel
The
like I'm going
silent
to
patient.
enjoy it.
The silent patient, because I really enjoy the author's books, I think might be easier for me, but this is going to be a hard one for me. But I will probably start it and do some like live footage of me reading it, see what kind of faces I pull.
That would be funny.
We hope that you have enjoyed this episode of our deep dive of Clusterfck. I enjoyed the fuck out of it. I'm sure Jack did as well. We're really glad that Brian decided to give us the nod to go ahead and do this. And we highly recommend that you give it a go if you like psychological thrillers and a lot of chaos.
Absolutely. And also, so that you do not miss all of our next episodes, don't forget to follow us, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts from, and leave us comments. We like to read them. We've had a few come in and we really enjoy reading them. Also, we've got Instagram. You can find us there, Betty and Bonny Bookslayers.
Yes, you can. We hope that you have the reading week that you deserve, and we are moving to a weekly format. So join us next
Yay!
week.
Catch you soon.
Take care, readers.